I hadn't heard of Howard Stern at all, but in 1990, I was doing a play here in New York. And when you're doing a play, the publicist gives you your daily assignment to promote the play. And this one particular morning, I had this address on Madison Avenue. I walked there and went up, I don't remember how many floors, and then they asked me to wait. And so we were in the green room, and I was looking at magazines, and the radio was on. And I heard the conversation, and I said to the guy sitting next to me, "This is really disgusting. Why can't they get nice music on this?" And he says, "That's the show we're waiting to go on." I thought, oh my. And then they came to get me, and I was ushered into this small studio, and I said, "Good morning," and he said, "Good morning," and he said, "Oh, you have a deep voice." And I said, "Well, this is my voice." And he says, "Anyone with a voice that deep has got to have a big dong." And I said, "Are we on the air?" I couldn't believe that, that kind of conversation would be going on. And that was my introduction to Howard Stern.
Let's let George sit in with the news. Maybe he's got some kind of spin on all this stuff.
I don't know.
He was in one of those Japanese internment camps during World War II when he was a kid.
You're kidding.
Oh, yeah.
He's angry then.
No, he says he's got a pretty good sense of humor. We'll see if we can get on the... Oh, there he is. Hold it. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him right now.
There he is.
That's you, man.
This is me.
Wow, what a voice on you. Yeah, I hear you on a lot of voiceover commercials and stuff.
Well, that's right.
Listen to him.
Hi, good to be here.
Gary, by the way, you know how Gary gets like Yogi Bear's Baba Booey wrong and all that?
Uh-huh.
You call him Zulu.
I never saw...
Zulu?
Yeah. He does. He calls him Zulu.
I don't know. I never watched the show, so I didn't know.
There are people like that.
And I
still don't know, like your football player friend didn't know either.
Right. Man, listen to your voice.
I didn't realize it was that low.
What a set of pipes on you.
Well, thank you. But you know what?
Thank you.
Hold on, wait a second. Wait a second. Just hold on, all right?
If I'm gonna be talking to you, let me see if I get this all right.
Oh, you want me to raise my voice?
What? Well, now it's all right. You must have balls like a Chinese gong. I swear to God.
What did you say?
I don't believe the deepness, the quality of your voice.
I bet you if you put him on the harmonizer, his voice wouldn't change.
All right,
Well, I can sound like Robin if I want to.
No, wait a second. Hold on wait a second. Listen to that. Let me hear you say something now. You want me to... Oh my God, I hear myself.
I don't know.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Dig your voice.
My voice?
Oh, wait.
You were talking about Gary's pronunciation.
I'm turning off his
of
mic. It's too deep. Yeah.
Of my character's name, Zulu.
Yeah.
Well, let me correct the pronunciation of my own last name. You call me Takei. Takei. Is pronounced Takei. However, you can call me Takei if you want to. That's a legitimate Japanese word spelled T-A-K-A-I. But you should know what you're calling me.
I can't even pay attention to his voice.
I know, you're just listening to the timbre.
Oh, man. Because you even go, why? Oh,
See,
man.
Howard's always wanted to sound like
Are you
that.
doing that on purpose?
Of course I am. I want to show you up.
I want you to do me a favor right now.
What?
I want you to come over here and dance with me.
Dance with you.
You are so masculine. I swear to God. I just want you to wrap me up in your arms.
Well, you don't want someone to accuse you of homo?
Oh,
as you were accusing those teenagers, your nephews?
I don't mind being homo.
You're kind of cute yourself.
Really?
Yeah,
you don't go
I
that
think
way, do you?
are.
You're not a homosexual.
Oh, no,
not with a voice like that. You would scare most men away.
You still don't know what Takei means.
What does it mean?
Takei, T-A-K-A-I, means
Takei.
Expensive. I'm very accommodating.
Can you believe this is his voice?
I never realized. What did they raise your voice on Star
on the
Trek?
TV
They
show?
did. I think they did because Bill Shatner kind of complained.
Yeah, he couldn't even get Bill Shatner felt like a woman. But seriously, did they make you sort of talk differently on the TV show?
Oh no. I talk this way.
They just didn't give him much to say.
Exactly.
They really didn't.
I really didn't.
He was always getting some kind of like
Sir, Warp 3. That was it.
He was always getting some kind of like Martian flu, and then reverting back to your old samurai days, and like wanting.
Oh no! I never reverted back to my samurai days. It was back to my D'Artagnan days.
Yeah, well,
people always think because of the way I look that when I wield a sword, it's a samurai sword.
Right.
It's actually French fencing foil.
Was it? With what appears to be genitals the size of Tokyo.
Really test that theory about these voices. He's the guy to do it.
Are you big in your pants? Are you?
Well, they have a lot of good massage parlors, but I never heard of putting cologne on your buttocks. I'll have to try that one of these days.
Maybe you run so fast because you run on 3 legs.
Oh, don't get me too big-headed. Big-headed.
No, George, seriously, are you... So I just said on a medical standpoint.
A what?
Are you like, what, 8 inches?
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
No comment.
All right.
I didn't know you were that kind. I've never been...
Seriously, do you think a guy with a deep voice like that has huge...
I have no idea. I've always heard that theory. In fact, I heard it from you.
George, if you
Well,
would...
there are a lot of Japanese, you know.
Do me a favor,
It
could you pull
doesn't
down your pants for a second?
Have I what?
Can you just take off your pants for a minute? Go show Robin what you got.
I didn't know it was that kind of... I know you have a highly cultivated sense of the raunchy, but...
You know, we saw when William Shatner was in here, we saw his private parts. He is close to female. Did you know that? You put him to shame.
Do you know about the other part of his anatomy?
Tongue like a
You
scar.
are lush. You
Yes.
are lush.
Yes.
Oh, you mean that?
What?
Talking about his hair.
Oh, yeah. Shatner's got no hair. And you know what's funny?
I wonder what he looks like without that thing.
Yeah, did you ever see him without his toupee?
No comment.
Does he look real? Is he like completely bald, or has he got a little bunch of hairs up there, or what?
Sprigs
Well,
of
you know,
hair?
we have these little creatures called tribbles. These
Right.
furry things that,
Yes.
you know, multiply like mad. We have a lot of those on people's heads.
You're saying that those are tribbles, those aren't wigs.
No wonder he's got more hair now than when the series was on
He
TV.
seems to get lusher as he
Yes.
gets older, doesn't he?
George even told me that without that toupee, he looks like Fred Mertz.
You know, you may be running me for Star Wars.
Nah, I don't think
never
so.
be able to go back again.
Hey,
under
big
that,
deal.
Captain.
But they can't take a joke. Hey, Captain, what's that tribble on your head?
It just moved.
Yes. Spock's ears are hairier than his head. Now, George is here. George Takei.
And I have ruined my career on Star
No,
Trek.
you haven't.
I will never get
Well,
out
you know,
of
you
the
might as well
galaxies
go
again.
for the whole thing. I think that Chekhov is also sporting a tribble, right?
Yeah, Chekhov's got a bad tribble.
Oh, how'd you know about that?
Oh, I can spot those things.
Oh, come on, let's be honest.
Saw it move, huh?
Yeah, because that's kind of weird. You'd think William Shatner could afford at this point a pretty nice toupee. But maybe, you know...
It's a good one.
It is a good one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for somebody, not him.
Is it good, really?
It's good hair, yeah.
Real human hair, just not his.
Yeah, right. It's expensive. It's not like some piece of carpet on his head. Now, the reason George is really here, you see, it's very...
Not to talk about other people's hair.
Well, yeah, that's a sideline.
Yes, now, no. Now that that's done with,
Right.
My career on Star Trek is finished. Now we better talk about
Why
the
have
rest
you
of my
never
career.
married? Seriously, why not share with a woman all this money, this
Yeah, don't
fame?
you want to have kids and stuff?
Right. Don't you want like a little George Takei
You know,
Jr.?
at this point in life, yeah, you know, I
You
do
miss
want one
that,
of my-
huh?
I've got a niece and a nephew that are the apples of my eye.
Uh-huh.
My brother and sister-in-law live 3 blocks from me, and I was kind of their surrogate father.
Yeah.
And my niece was over for the opening of.
Did you
the
breastfeed them?
wash.
He has a surrogate
I'm
father.
a
It's a surrogate
versatile,
father.
versatile father.
I understand.
But you know, you reach a point where you say, "Yeah, I want one of my."
What is it?
own.
You just like to knock off a lot of different broads? Is that
Never could settle on just one, huh?
it? You walk down the street sometimes, like women just come up to you and go, "Hey, hey, you're from Star Trek. Let's do it." Do they ever do that? Seriously, do you ever get like groupies?
Well, you know, I go to more than a few Star Trek conventions.
Yeah, that's where it happens. See, Robin, that's where it happens.
Well,
Oh, Sulu, Jesus, look at you.
Yes, but it gets to be with all those people in costume.
Yeah.
with
Do you
20
prefer-
years.
You prefer Americans or that Oriental basket stuff? Huh? Have you had all kinds of women? Or you just
Well,
stay?
you know, in the galaxies, it's
No, but will you only date Asian women,
pluralism.
or will you?
No.
Anything
no.
goes.
Except you, Howard.
Yeah,
Except you. I know you're
drawing
kind
the
of
line
sweet
there.
on me, but
I don't know. You have any hair on your body?
boy, this guy's really interested in
Okay,
my.
he wants to know all about
I just want to know about it. You came here for an interview, didn't you?
I didn't know it was that kind of show.
Ever date any famous women?
You know, before I came on, he was talking about guys dancing with guys.
Yes.
And then he starts asking me questions like, you know.
So maybe I like you. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with me liking a man like you? What's wrong with me coming on to you?
No, I want to know more about you.
I didn't know you were
don't
president
go
of a
by-
bank.
I don't go by, you know, the surface.
Right.
Thing.
You want
I
me to
wanna
make sure I'm a
know
nice
more
guy.
about the soul, who you really are.
No, because Japanese guys don't have hair.
No, we don't.
Really?
No, we don't.
That's great.
anywhere.
In certain parts. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh, they have pubic hair. If you're asking about pubic hair,
Robin, I've never heard such enthusiastic sincerity in a voice before.
well, he does. He does have pubic hair, but he shaves that.
He plucks it.
He plucks that hair. He tweezes it. I just want to know how many times a week you get laid. Off all these
I
endeavors.
was thinking, you know, he says he's got a modest
Am I
life.
making this show
I
too
figured
serious
they got
for you?
signs all over the neighborhood that say this way to his house.
Oh,
All the
yeah.
women can just find their way there.
Are all you guys doing well? Doesn't Uhura have a couple of banks too? And- or some kind of.
Nobody had to be gotten out of a shelter.
Oh, I should tell you about Uhura. Nichelle Nichols.
She has a fruit stand on Hermosa Beach.
She is a wonderfully talented singer. You know, most
Right.
people don't know that part of her.
Really?
And she's got a one-woman show that she's traveling the country with. I think she was in Toronto recently, where it's called Legends, and she does a whole series of legendary
Oh, yeah?
black singers.
No kidding.
Lena Horne, Eartha Kitt, Bessie Smith.
She married?
Many times. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Men.
You party at her house?
Oh yeah, she's a wonderful hostess.
You ever nail
And
her?
I love her dearly.
You ever get her?
She is a wonderful, lovely lady.
You never had sex with her?
She's a wonderful lady.
Oh, I guess he did.
Oh, yeah.
Generous lady. And
No kidding. You and Uhura.
always
Sulu.
favors of
They
her,
never
and
wrote
she
that
was-
into the script.
No kidding. Well, she heard his deep voice.
Said a thing.
He's hung like a black man. Whoa. You got any pictures of her naked? No kidding. Sulu nails Uhura.
Well, you saw that scene from one of our Star Trek episodes when, you know, we do that negative universe thing where
She's a beautiful woman.
she is.
What'd you do?
Gorgeous
You
woman.
just like got into her? I mean,
Well, there was a scene where Sulu attempts to rape her.
yeah, right. I remember
Seen
that.
that one?
Yes, I
Yes,
did.
I had a
Absolutely.
scar over
Yeah.
my eyes.
Yeah, you went nuts.
But the
But you mean you had a physical attraction offset as well?
she's a lovely lady.
Right. So what was that like? Did you guys stay at home and stuff, or was it a quick affair, or just like
How's it working together now since you've had this?
Yeah, I mean, isn't that uncomfortable?
I mean, is it okay? Do you still talk, or was
Yeah.
it a bad breakup?
You won't let me tell her because you keep getting.
What'd you guys do? Like run off to the trailer every time you run into the scene? Psst, Sulu, let's go. No kidding. I never had any idea the two of you had romance.
I haven't said a thing. It's
I'm
you guys
understanding.
that are
It's what you
saying it.
haven't said. It's what you haven't said.
We're reading between the lines.
Yeah, really.
You're quite literate.
Star sex.
That should be the name of that series.
Well, she's a beautiful.
Attract a lot.
I could see where you'd fall under her charms.
Oh, she is a lovely lady.
Yeah.
Very talented, and she's really a wonderful person.
What's that metal growth coming out of her head? I always
Yeah,
notice
that
that.
whole ear thing always bothered me.
That's her hailing frequency thing. You know, she's always talking about her
Right.
hailing frequencies being open.
So she hailed you in somewhere around Uranus?
Her hailing frequencies were open to him. Yes.
Yeah, right. Wait a second, Captain. I'm getting something over the hailing frequency. Ooh. It's George.
Excuse me, Captain. I have to leave the bridge for a few moments.
That metal thing in her head, that was for George's old condoms. That's just, she stored them in there. No kidding, George.
I will get the original tapes of this show.
Yes, you will. You and Uhura, I never would have pictured that.
Ah, see, we never knew what was
I'm
going
being
on.
stripped naked on this show
behind the
here.
scenes.
She's a beautiful woman. What about now, though? Do you get any models?
What?
Do you ever get models?
You asked him about other famous women. He never told you.
Oh, he gets a lot. Did Spock watch you too when you? Nimoy's all full of himself now. Thinks he's a big director. I mean, he is a big
3
director.
men and a
Yeah, leave
baby.
me
You know.
Yeah,
speechless.
yeah. Everyone's in shock.
Yeah, nobody knew he had this talent.
Can't believe you and Uhura. I'm freaking out.
Oh, you never imagined that?
No.
Huh? You couldn't imagine
So
that.
space wasn't the final frontier. All right, my friend.
They found new worlds to conquer.
They sure did.
Went where no man had
Well,
gone
it gets pretty
before.
boring on set if you don't have a little partner.
I guess so.
That's why That's why Scotty and Nimoy got together.
I was going to say, because it was only that yeoman,
Right.
Captain Kirk.
Right, yeoman. Kirk was doing that yeoman, wasn't he? You're not talking.
And then the doctor, well, that nurse was there for Spock.
Right.
So Uhura had to do with everybody else.
No kidding.
Robin, you're terrible.
So then, but you can go to these Star Trek conventions and just like everybody's all over you, right?
No, we have good security.
Right.
They're very good about keeping our bodies well protected.
Who was Shatner with during the whole thing?
He was married.
What? Probably go off by himself into the trailer.
And talk to himself. 'Cause he's so
Oh,
in love with
Jesus.
himself.
Oh, you guys are cool.
Yeah, he was doing those albums, Howard.
Right.
So
Hey, you don't sing like Nimoy and Shatner, do you? Have you ever heard their albums?
Oh, yes, I
Oh,
have.
boy. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine men and marmalade skies. Yes. There I am.
Somebody calls you.
Yes.
Oh, this is terrible. Oh, I'll never be on Starfleet again.
Kaleidoscope eyes. Cellophane flowers.
Up here on the wall.
Green.
Green over your head. Look.
With a sign in her eyes. And she's gone.
Gone. Thank you.
oh, dear.
Well, this has been fun.
Never work again.
Oh, you will. You'll work.
They can't do it without you.
That's right.
I better find another career.
You don't need a new career. Shatner needs a new wig. You don't need a new career.
Maybe you can share some of yours.
Yeah, exactly. Now, George, you're a great guy.
Thank you.
He's a good dude, you know?
Yeah. I mean, anybody who comes in here and has a good time, we wish well.
Very few
Well, it
people
was
have a
good
good time.
Really, I can't believe that.
No, everyone always has a
I'm
good time.
sure they've got that.
Very good.
It was a real kick.
Did you have fun?
Enjoyed it. It was good fun.
It was
You're
good
cool. And Robin, my dear, you are an absolute delight.
Oh, well,
Ooh,
thank you.
well. Uhura Jr.
I've got something coming out of my ear, too.
Yeah.
You sure have both of them.
Boy, you're quite a ladies' man.
You're
I heard that.
ambidextrous. Uhura had it coming out of only one ear.
Hey, and when you watch those Star Trek movies and you see Uhura, picture George on top.
You know why she can't hear anything.
Right. What?
She can never get anybody on those hailing frequencies.
He filled her up.
Her ears were clogged.
Would you just tell me one thing? Guys, are you really big? No, I mean, because you have a deep
The
voice.
last question.
Seriously, are you big?
All right. Yes.
Yes, you are. No wonder that's how you held on to Uhura. See, I knew he was. All
And on that note, I better flee.
right, we'll flee.
Howard, we have to hurry up because we need to talk to George Takei.
Is he right on there now?
Yeah, we can talk to him on the satellite.
Oh, he's
Good.
on the satellite.
George Takei is, it's Takei, by the way.
No, it's Takei.
Is it?
Rhymes with okay. He'll explain to you how it works.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't want to hear that. How do I get him? Hello?
Hello.
George, my old friend.
Hello. How are you, Howard?
Can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine. I've been listening in on you all this time with all the buzz and peeps and squeaks. What are you doing there?
Hey, by the way, I have George Takei Jr. here. Say hello, George.
Warp Factor 2, yeah. All those beeps and squeaks. And who is that?
That is your long-lost brother.
My long-lost brother. You know, in the next Star Trek movie, Star Trek Generations, about the next generation, They've got my daughter working on the helm.
You know what?
I didn't know about her.
Yeah.
Someone just told me.
I'm sick of rice. Yes.
Hey, George, you know, it's funny.
So you're not in the new movie?
No, I'm not. My daughter is.
Hey, George.
Yes.
Yes.
Stop it, because I'll never get through this interview.
I'm AC Takei.
Right.
AC.
All right, take it easy.
OJ.
All right, stop it. Obviously somebody with no sense of humor over there. George.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to follow in your footsteps, Howard.
You know, I got to ask you a question first. I know because you
All
wrote
right.
a book. Do you, now you enunciate in real life. I mean, you are the most enunciating guy I know. You enunciate, like you say Howard.
Howard.
Yeah. You are really into enunciating every
Now,
word.
as a kid, did you do that?
Yeah, but on Star Trek, you never did that.
No, because I'm acting. I'm not being me. I'm being Sulu.
No, but I mean, you know,
Sulu.
I mean, it's unusual. I mean, you catch me by surprise when I hear you in real life because
I'm shocked. I thought you were beyond surprise. Haven't you lived and been exposed to everything that's possible?
Yes.
Well, I'm the one that's shocking you, am I?
I'm writing a play.
Oh, I'm delighted to
It's
hear that.
Shatner trying to act his way out of a paper bag.
you know what I love about your new book?
Yes, what?
I love the fact that you take on this William Shatner. I love it. Finally. I mean, it took you long enough. I am so glad that you came forward. You were the first one to be honest and say, that son of a bitch.
Only thought of himself.
Others have said that. They've never printed that.
Right.
I guess I'm the first one to print that. But you know, I recognize him for what he is. I mean, he's a very talented actor.
No, he isn't. Be honest.
Well, you know, he's got his. Some of the things that he did on Star Trek are really remarkable. You have to give
what?
the man credit for that.
What did he do? Name one thing that was remarkable.
Well,
he made love to a Tribble?
Well, in the book I talk about a couple of scenes where he was very impressive. You know, but the thing is, you have to look at the whole man, and we've spent almost 30 years with him.
He was a rat fink.
We're tired of looking at him.
Yes, we share that with you. And
Yes.
I wrote about it.
Wow, you really came out and you said it finally. Because most people in
We tried to
Hollywood...
get you to say it before.
Didn't we try to get you to say it?
No, you wanted to know about Uhura.
Yes.
We did?
Oh, Howard is very obsessed with Uhura.
Shatner had sex with Uhura, didn't he?
No.
He didn't?
No.
Shatner?
No, they kissed.
Oh, they kissed.
They had the kiss that reverberated through the American South.
So when you sit there and talk about Shatner, the reason you hate him is because he was ungracious. He was not gracious as an actor. He didn't allow you to be in certain scenes. He wouldn't talk to you at certain points on the set, right?
Well, no, the thing about Bill...
I knew he was a skunk.
He's got this charm
Yes.
that he thinks is going to cover up all the other things that he does to people.
Oh, so he's nice to you while he's cutting your throat.
He's got that smile and that wit, and, you know, at first, everybody gets taken in by that. But over the years, you see through the man. And frankly, I see him as a rather sad kind of guy, you know, who never really outgrew that beginning actor's syndrome of
Right.
cutting lines and doing everything he can to bring attention to himself. You know, we mature as actors after a while, and we learn.
I love how you say mature.
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 Wait, your son wants to say mature. Go ahead.
Go ahead, boy.
Mature.
Oh, no, but you've got to do it a little bit more crisply than that.
A little bit
mature.
more crispy than that.
Hey, and because you were an Asian actor, did he expect you to serve him and stuff on the set?
Oh, no. There
Any of
was
that?
nothing like that.
I kissed Shatner.
It was just, Bill was very democratic about it.
Right.
He treated everybody
Everyone badly.
the same.
He treated everyone badly.
Badly.
Ooh, I love when people talk about other people. I love that. That's their comeuppance. I bet you he's fuming. Oh, if he could get his hands
you
around
talked
your
to
I've
neck.
not heard from him yet. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yes. Imagine you run into him at a party. Will you do karate on him?
Oh, no.
If he attacks you?
No. No, Bill's Bill, you know, and we've had a modus vivendi for all these years.
Whatever
and
that is.
What is a modus vivendi?
Modus vivendi?
Yes.
Oh, That's a new style that's getting very, very trendy.
Really? Do you ever carry those little Chinese stars on you and throw them at Bill Shatner?
Yeah, hit him with
Those
your
Chinese
nunchucks.
stars.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
yes.
And
Well, you're
made out of
Chinese,
black,
right?
Wrought iron.
Aren't you Chinese?
No, I'm Japanese.
Oh.
Japanese American.
Oh, I see.
Oh, you didn't read
Interesting.
the beginning part of my
Well, no, I skipped right to the Shatner part. Then I'm going to go back and read the Japanese part.
Well, it's actually a Japanese-American story I tell about at the beginning of the story.
And do you understand all those little pictures that everyone writes in? The little pictures?
Do you write in those pictures?
You write in
Write
little
in those
pictures?
pictures.
Yeah, do you ever see, like, in the Japanese write those little pictures, and they call them...
Oh, you mean the character writing?
Yes, character writing. Do you do any of that?
Well, you know, as a kid, I was sent to a Japanese language school on Saturdays, which I hated.
Do you know martial arts?
I know some martial arts.
Oh,
yes.
really?
Did
So if
you see
Shatner-
that on Star Trek?
Yes, what do you think will happen if you run into Shatner at a party? One of those fancy Hollywood parties. Let's say you just happen to go somewhere.
Bill would, you know, if there are a lot of other people, and particularly the press around, he would come up to me and embrace me and say, Georgie, how have you been?
Oh, really?
Oh, you look wonderful.
And what will you
It's
do?
all a performance.
And will you pull his wig off and embarrass him? Will you pull it right off?
Well, you know, it's a very expensive piece.
Doesn't he have different wigs for different shows?
Well, you might have noticed that as he matures,
Yes.
his
hair gets younger.
darker,
Yeah, and he gets more
lusher,
full, yeah.
and more
Like a buffalo.
What is that, George
his
Jr.?
suit
Like a buffalo.
like a buffalo.
Oh, I see. Because I noticed on when he played the cop,
Yes.
he had
Hooker.
Hooker.
You
Hooker
like
had
that
one
word,
piece.
Hooker.
Hooker had a hairpiece.
You
you
know,
look-
when I walk down the
What?
street, you know, people recognize me and they say, "Hey, Sulu."
Judge
but
Ito.
when Bill walks down the street, particularly down Sunset Boulevard,
Right.
they call his police character's name, and he turns around together with with about 3 or 4 other ladies. I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
So you.
It's
look at
cheap.
the
It's
early-
cheap. What?
If you look at the early TV show,
Mm-hmm.
William Shatner has almost no hair.
Right.
That's right. If you
And
look at
then-
the early Star
That's
Trek
right.
shows.
And
Right.
then you look at T.J. Hooker, he got very curly hair.
Yeah, he went to a curly look, kind of a mod look.
And
now
have
he
you
has-
seen him in Star Trek 6?
Wow.
I
What's
mean,
that?
it's deep brown.
Is that a-
and lush?
Is that a is that a tribble on his head?
Captain Chia.
I don't think a tribble was ever that lush.
Captain Chia Pet.
He's like, you know what?
Son, behave.
I heard he's going to be in a remake of Rapunzel, William Shatner.
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel.
Well, no, because if I recall, they climbed up Rapunzel's hair, right?
Well,
Yeah.
that's the sequel.
I don't think that's possible with.
William Shatner.
There's a big letdown in the sequel.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it would be a crashing fall.
He'd be like, hey, anyway, George,
Yes.
I'm glad you survived all of that, and I'm glad that you came on our show today to trash William Shatner. I love that. I can't stand the guy myself.
Well, I enjoyed chatting with you. You always have a lively discussion on the air.
And that's what I love about you, my
Well,
friend,
thank you.
my deep-voiced enunciating friend. Farewell, my friend.
Thank you very much.
The great George Takei.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper, my friend. And remember, Stitch in Time saves 9. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Good talking with you.
Good talking with you. I'll see you later.
Later.
Thank you. The great George Takei. There he goes.
You weren't quite crisp enough.
He
with
said
that
I
tea.
didn't enunciate. Captain.
Yes. To the stars.
Dude, there's George's son, George
Yeah,
Takei
George's
Jr.
son is still with
I would love to give Shatner a vasectomy with a samurai sword. When I talk, my balls rattle.
I bet they do.
Rattle.
Rattle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I heard they land the Enterprise on Bill's head.
He was pretty angry at William Shatner.
Yeah.
Imagine him snoring, George Takei. Rattle the house.
Yeah, the roof would come off.
Beam me up some sake, Scotty, and 2 geishas.
What a voice, huh? Now we're back with William Shatner. He's been a good sport to sit through 17 hours of commercials. And he's here, and he has written a book. He's very proud of it.
Now, this is a Star Trek book. This is not Tech
Well, it's
Wars.
a Star Trek novel, fiction.
Well, what do you have to do to get the rights to write one of these books? Do you have to, like...
Yeah, well, the Simon & Schuster asked me to write it.
Yeah.
It's one of three. There's a trilogy being fashioned, and...
You writing all three?
Yeah. Well,
what do you do all day? You write all day? I mean, what's going on?
I'm in the middle of a
wow.
Fervent.
How long does it take you to knock out a book like this?
Well, that took 3-4 months. I'm working with Gar and Judy Reese-Stevens.
Yeah.
Last week we sat down, had a 2-hour lunch, and I had a good idea of what the third novel will be, because the second novel's already fleshed out, and we're writing that. And the third novel, in about 2 hours, I laid the cornerstones for it. And
no kidding.
That kind of thing takes place between us. That
you're prolific, aren't you? Look at you.
And not only that, I'm creative.
You're so damn proud of yourself. I don't blame you. Look at that. It's called, it's a real book. Look at that. Ashes of Eden. And it's an original story by William Shatner.
And Captain Kirk gets older.
And is Nimoy in it?
Everybody's
Spock?
in it.
Spock has to be there, of course.
You
didn't write anybody out because of the things they've been saying about you.
Did you write out that Chinaman? What's his name? What the hell's that guy's name? The one who was bad-mouthing William Shatner.
On the contrary, we love him.
Really?
George Takei?
George Takei. Captain. Right, Mr. Takei?
George Takei.
Right, yeah. Captain.
Well, we hold them in our arms.
What was your problem with William Shatner again? I forget.
Oh, how are you, Bill? Now, are you the nice Bill Shatner who knows me, or the one who won't talk to me?
Oh, very good. But the point is, you didn't want to write out Sulu. Sulu has not been complimentary to you. We had that out on the air.
The guys are terrific.
You would have them all. You don't care. You don't hold a
Oh,
grudge.
yes, he's so busy with his books and his movies.
And what are you doing? You're talking about
and his
Japanese...
Rescue 911. Why don't you rescue my career? Oh, my. Yeah.
Yes, George. Well, why don't you mellow out over there? Okay.
Bill, you couldn't write a fortune cookie.
You're so jealous of William Shatner, aren't you?
I am not.
You are jealous.
No.
All right.
I'm going to get Mr. Scott to beam your assets to my house in California.
Oh. Yeah. Good. All right. Very good.
Now, Lieutenant Uhura is still in there.
Everybody's in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody interacts, and in a different fashion. It's a sensual, erotic novel.
It is.
Quite
Oh, yeah, they're all making love on the set.
Oh,
on the,
everybody's-
You get some of that alien vag? What do you get? I mean, do you get some of that?
No, we can see that.
Is this R-rated? Would you say this is R-rated?
It's not R-rated, but it certainly isn't.
There are
PG.
sex scenes.
Yeah.
You always were a horny bastard.
Who does Mr. Spock get?
Who does Mr. Spock get?
Mr. Spock gets Captain Kirk.
Well, no. That's a book I got to read. Is that right? The two of you finally get it
That
on.
was number 3.
You two are obviously in love.
It's a bestseller for a variety of reasons.
And Mr. Sulu, you of course are by yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
Put the tissues down, Mr.
right.
Sulu.
Yeah, Mr. Sulu.
Oh, my.
Now you get obviously you are a man who cannot walk down the street because you know how rabid these fans are. These Star Trek fans. They love you. They love you. They really do. I mean, it's unbelievable, is it not?
Yeah, it's good.
I'll tell you how unbelievable it is. Ralph, who is the makeup artist on the
he's
show,
a mess, yes.
says, "Could I take a picture with William Shatner?" And I said, "No." I said, "Look, I don't. If I have guests who come here who got to sit and put up with Ralph, he says, 'Oh, please, it's my dream
It'll
to get
keep
a picture
people away.
with William Shatner because he watches Star Trek like a mental patient,
And he has
over
all
and
that
over again.
stuff. You know, he has one
I
of
gotta
those
keep Ralph warmed up.
transporters and all that
Are
stuff.
you serious?
Oh, he's
Is that how he
ridiculous.
puts on the makeup?
Yeah, he actually carries one of those stupid transporters. But, what do you call it? One of the communication devices.
But on his, it
Look at
works.
him. Look at him. Look at him. He wants to take a picture.
This is what you spoke.
Oh, man.
With the shades on. And
He looks like an alien, doesn't he? What happened is he saw a ghost and his hair went gray. What is it?
I said
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said a picture or asked him if he could sign something,
Yeah, well, don't bug the guy, all right? You're a pain in the ass.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no, you are not going. You're not going to have anything
He's your
signed.
boss, I understand, and I'm just a guest. But for the moment, you're not a pain in the
You look like a Klingon. Get out of here. Look at you.
I also like Tech War.
Yeah, Ralph calls me the other night. He goes, "Quick, tape Tech War. Tape it. It's a good one. It's a really good one." Which was the one you wanted me to tape? What was going on?
What was it? His partner got killed. Greg Evigan.
Yeah.
His partner got shot. You weren't in that one, but
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, and what was so good about it? Because it had all that high-tech gear,
Yeah,
right?
they really
It had some heart.
Yeah, and it's also, it's a good view of the future. It's like you can believe it.
There's a Tech War CD-ROM game coming out in Christmas time, and you'll
Ralph.
Can you buy me a computer? Because I don't have one. I'll buy you a computer.
Yeah, maybe he'll adopt you.
You know, he is a pain in the ass.
Isn't he? Look at him. He just dyed his hair, and it used to be brown. You know, it used to be like a normal color.
He looks great.
He looks great. He looks like an alien. He looks like a Klingon.
We can use you somewhere.
You're used to aliens.
Tell Mr. Shatner how you let priests rape you. Go ahead. This guy was raped by a priest.
Oh yeah. On to new heights. No. I wasn't raped.
Yeah, did you spend the night with a priest or not?
I was propositioned.
He gave his consent.
No, I'm not kidding. He was being counseled when he was young. He had no father or something. His father ran out. You can see why.
Well, he was useless.
Right.
Right.
And then, well, his father didn't run out. They kicked him out. I don't know what the story was. So he goes to the priest, and next thing you know, the priest is showing him dirty pictures, and he gets naked in front of the priest.
I didn't get naked.
You were too. You undressed in front of him.
You know, it sounds like the ashes of Eden.
Is that right?
All right, get out of here, please. Not in front of Mr. Shatner. That's your problem.
But when you get an autograph, Ralph, get two, please.
Yeah. Oh, you want one also?
I have somebody soliciting me to
Oh,
get
no,
an autograph.
no autographs.
Not for an
No
autograph.
autographs. So listen to me. Tell me the kind of life you have. Just fill me in real quick, because this is what I'm interested in. Tell me what's going on.
All right, I flew in to New York.
No, just skip that.
Kentucky.
Skip the nonsense. You're completely...
You don't want to hear about the horses.
No.
Since
You don't want to hear about the CD-ROM.
You're not into horses, are you?
Yeah.
Look at Christopher
you're not
Reeve.
riding them.
For God's sake. You ride horses?
I'm competing right now.
Are you
And steeplechase?
No. Kind of a dressage. You wouldn't...
Are you crazy?
Oh, no.
You want to end up in the hospital?
Listen.
Do you understand that a horse is an animal?
Do you understand that if you have fear, you gotten old?
You saying Chris Reeve has fear?
Chris Reeve had
No,
fear.
he didn't have
He had
fear.
fear. You think that's what did him
He
in?
had fear. He said he said before he had the accident, it's the most dangerous thing I do.
Right.
It isn't really, but he was jumping.
Yes.
And he was learning how to jump.
Oh, he was just a beginner.
Yeah, he was really a fairly
new
at it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And he
Is that correct? I thought that this guy had been doing it his whole life.
Why was he in a competition if he was so new?
Well, because at a certain point you've got to go for it.
Really?
And this novel is about getting old.
Yeah.
And not wanting to get old.
Right.
If you
It's
have
in your head.
fear, it's
Right.
in your head. You've got to cast out the fear and the doubt.
So in other words, when I'm riding my bike and my ankle hurts, ignore it.
Ignore it.
Right.
Deny everything.
Right. Deny it.
Deny it. Well, like
Because-
O.J. Simpson or anything. Just
deny. Go into denial.
Go into denial.
Now let me ask you this: I'm afraid of Fred, that guy over there who I work with.
Don't be afraid.
Don't
of
be
Fred.
afraid. Just deal
If
with
you're
it.
afraid of Fred, you're old.
All right, but this is a good point. You're saying
Is that what you're saying?
so you're into this you're into this ridiculous horse thing.
No, not ridiculous.
Dressage.
Horses-
You realize that a horse has a thin little ankle. You start
Yes.
jumping and moving around with it.
Yes.
It can revolt.
Yeah, revolt.
It will revolt.
It could revolt.
Right. And what do you do when it revolts?
You get off.
Do you wear a helmet?
Time to leave the revolution.
Do you wear a helmet?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No. But Christopher Reeves did.
Yes.
And
So you're saying the helmet did him in? What are you saying?
What was the good?
Yeah, right. What good will it do you?
But it was a freak accident, Chris's.
And you wear the whole outfit with the big boots and the...
Well, you got to...
I got to see that.
Well, I've got film.
No
film
kidding.
at 11. But I'm in competition this evening.
And you're not afraid at all?
You're basically showing off the horse.
That's exactly right.
All right, he's
The
not
horse-
jumping.
No, although I have jumped.
You have?
But wait a
And
second.
my trainer said, stop jumping. Because
After
you,
Christopher
'cause you
Reeve.
could- No.
No.
Because you could get hurt. I was doing 4 feet. Chris was doing 2.5, 3.5 feet.
Baby jumps.
It's easier. It's hunter hack, it's called.
Yeah.
And it should be for form, not height.
Right.
And he had something terrible. The nightmare of all people with horses happened to him.
So when you do it now, in the back of your mind, you're not thinking about Christopher Reeve?
I get on and I think of
He
Christopher
doesn't
Reeves and
jump
I
up.
have
Are you saying the captain of the Star Trek is stronger than Superman himself?
Wow.
In a way?
That's an interesting
I had to
question.
cast
Because you
out
had to
fear.
use your mind,
You had
and
to-
he only used brute strength.
No.
But that was always the beauty of Captain Kirk. He
always
outthought
he almost
his
got
enemy.
Sandy to make out with me. If you had done that, you would have been the greatest captain of all.
If you'd have gone with it, she would have done it.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Blame it on me.
She was being moved.
Right.
By extension, you.
Yeah, I'd like to hang out with you. So wait a second. So you're doing this horse thing and everything.
Horse
Forget the
thing,
horse thing.
CD-ROM games,
Is that where you meet the girls?
Man of War.
Do you meet the girls at the horse thing?
A lot of girls.
Have
at
you
the
dated horse girls?
No, you
Horsey
can't.
girls.
You never know what those girls are going to do.
Are they hot, these horse girls?
Well, they've
They're gotta be
like
rich.
to ride, and
Yeah.
they've got a crop.
And they got tight asses.
Let
me ask you a question.
Yeah.
All right. And now you're free and clear, right? The divorce
Free
is
and
over.
clear. Everything's
messy
good.
divorce, money
Messy, terrible.
right out the window.
Terrible.
What happened?
Did you give up 50%?
What happened?
You gave up 50%, right?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
50%.
Jesus. Wait, hold it. Stop. I got
There's got to be a moment of silence.
I'm
going
going to guess you're worth
You're wrong.
Conservatively.
Nah. You haven't got it.
$40 to $50 million.
Don't be
and you gave away $25 million.
Don't be ridiculous.
You gave away $25 million of assets.
Don't be ridiculous.
No way?
No.
What, you got an offshore account? Smart.
Well, I have to swim.
Stockpiling,
I have
aren't
to
you?
swim to my offshore.
You are smart. A lot of guys are doing that. Get the offshore account. Your wife
listen,
can't get those
You pay
assets.
the taxes. You do everything right. You don't have nothing to worry
No,
about.
you're a smart guy. You probably had a prenup, right?
You do everything right. You have nothing to worry about.
Right.
I gotta
You
know
start doing
what
things
happened.
You know why he's writing
If
3 of
I
these
knew
books?
what happened, it wouldn't have happened.
You know why he's writing 3 of these Ashes of Eden books?
Why?
Because
To make up for what he lost?
of course he's got to give up a third.
The Ashes of Eden is a great novel.
Is it great?
It's for me.
I like
it
to
was
see a new
it was
Star Trek.
terrific
I would like to read a Star Trek book.
Read that novel. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll read it. I'll read it.
Yeah, because I was kind of broken up the last movie. Captain Kirk died.
Well, this trilogy of novels suggests other avenues, other possibilities.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, time is a continuum.
Well,
Super.
Folded back on itself.
Did it fall back on itself?
Let's ask Sandy.
Yeah. Where's Sandy when you need a time question? She's a very smart girl. So let me get this straight now. Forget the horse. I'm sure that's fun and everything, but the dating must be incredible. What do you do? Do you ever walk into a bar? No, hold it a second. Do you ever walk into a bar? Not a bar, not like a low-class bar, a restaurant, and the ladies just come up to you and go, "Oh, Bill."
But you don't know what's happening. Suspicion and...
You think they want you for your money?
You never know.
Yeah, but what do you care?
Well, you do.
As long as you get them.
You're not marrying these girls. You're just having dinner.
Yeah, you would never get married again, would you? Would you ever get married again? No.
It's very difficult to conceive. Right?
Yeah, right. It's
right about now.
Yeah, you've been through the ringer.
I'm still bleeding.
You know what? The next book you write, when you make the sequel to this book, because this will be a hit, of course.
It's called The Fires of Olympus.
Yeah, never mind that. In that book.
What do you mean, never mind that? That's the
Listen to
name
me.
of the book.
The captain.
Fires of Olympus.
Can I give you a plot? The captain beams his ex-wife to Pluto. Gets rid of her, no alimony, nothing.
That's
It's clean.
That's
You got to beam them to Pluto before they become.
All right, when you date, give me an age range. 17 to 35? Is that fair for the girls? 17 to 35?
Factor 2, Captain.
Thank you, Mr. Takei. Yes.
17 is a little shady.
You would never date a 17-year-old?
Well, that's a little risky.
Let's say she was really mature, she was hot, and she,
really
her parents gave her okay.
If you said, let's go to Jersey, is that across the state line?
Yeah.
No, well, that's...
No, but these are young girls, right?
These are very difficult times.
Super. Yes. What is that, Sulu? Who are you dating?
Photon torpedoes.
Yeah. See, now you like the captain.
If his wiener could talk, it would write 5 trilogies.
Let me tell you
I'm
something.
trying to get the thought from there to there.
Sulu, you blame Mr. Shatner because you never were created more as a character. They never brought your character out. But you were just a guy who worked the spaceship. He was a guy.
I don't understand why everyone idolizes him. I'd rather have Ebola virus than work with you again.
Wait a minute, Howard. The funniest thing about the George Takei argument was that he didn't get his own ship.
Yeah, he wanted his own ship. That Bill Shatner kept it from himself. Do you still hold that against Mr. Shatner?
He's very small in the pants, and it frustrates him.
You don't know anything about it.
It's the tight costume.
Yeah. Oh, my.
So when you get a girl in the sack, which probably doesn't take much energy, because you could just get her in there because of who you are.
You just lie there.
And when you're naked and stuff, I mean, do the girls
just lie there.
You just lie there. You don't have to really move around.
You're the captain.
Man, you must be having the time of your life. You're the captain.
Right.
It's time for you to mellow out.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, my dear.
What a life. You've had threesomes, right? Be honest.
George,
2 girls and 1 guy.
Me, and
come on.
And Leonard.
You've had it all. Have you not? Have you experienced it all? I mean, someone of your fame does not miss a trick.
I don't even know what threesomes are.
Oh.
Well, you know what I hope doesn't happen to him? I hope his wife is happily taken care of and will go on and won't join that group ladies.
Yeah, do you know about that?
Those life is...
Yeah. They go on TV and they badmouth you?
After divorce or something like that.
In fact, I know somebody whose wife is...
we both do,
Who's that?
Leonard Nimoy's wife.
Oh, yeah, right. Leonard Nimoy's wife's big in that. She lucky him. Guy got a divorce, gave her half his money, did the whole thing, and now she goes on TV.
But she is devastated.
I'm the real Mrs. Nimoy.
Let me tell you, Leonard is one of the great guys of this world.
Ask her.
Maybe you shouldn't, but ask me.
Right.
I'm telling Well,
he's a good man.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And he's happily married.
Yeah, thank you. Right. Yeah. Do you like Mr. Spock?
Bill loves threesomes. The girl, him, and his big fat ego. I've seen Bill with pigs that would scare Stevie Wonder.
Oh, stop it.
You are so jealous. You are so jealous of Mr. Shatner.
You feed off each other.
You are so jealous of Mr. Shatner. It's not even funny.
Oh, my.
Yeah, all right. All right. Something wrong with you. All right.
Yeah.
But see, he's jealous, and why not? He should be jealous.
I think he's jealous of you.
Evidently. No, but he should be jealous. Obviously, you've had all the success. You get to write the Star Trek books. You get to direct the films, and you get to do Tech Wars and everything else. And you did that through hard work. No one can say you didn't.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, why not? I'll stick up for you. Listen, I'm into it. The book is called Star Trek, The Ashes of Eden. And what this is, for any Star Trek fan, and I know there are many out there, this will take you into new worlds, new adventures.
You have the old crew back again.
You've been waiting for this, obviously. Now's your chance to buy it in the stores. And then this is part of a trilogy, so that you will eventually
This is just the first of three.
Yeah, have some fun reading the book. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Let's ask Sandy what a trilogy is.
There you go.
You ask her. I want to thank you again for stopping in and visiting with us.
It was a pleasure as usual.
You had fun.
I really was.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I didn't think you'd be back again. You never know. Most people leave and never come back.
We were going to talk about what kind of a father he is. You admitted that you're career-driven and you don't pay much attention
So
to
is
your
William
family.
Shatner.
I would imagine he was. You don't get this
time.
kind of success without ignoring people.
No. Is that true, Bill? Were you really a good father?
I was.
You were?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So your kids won't be on the psychiatrist's couch screaming about you?
3 beautiful and intelligent and talented daughters.
Yeah.
Is that right? Oh, so they dig in everything through everything.
And they know you.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to get to know my kids very soon.
All right.
They're young. They're not
Well, then
included.
take advice from
Put
him.
them in your movie.
Yeah, sure. That'll be good. They keep
That way
bugging me.
you get to see him at work.
My kids keep bugging me to be in a movie. You know, they want to be like, well, why can't we be in the movie?
Well,
Do you have kids in the movie?
Well, there'll be kids playing my kids. I don't want my kids.
I didn't know whether the kids were in the movie.
No, let me tell you. On the 18th...
Would you put your kids in a Star Trek movie?
Listen to me.
Go
on
ahead.
the 18th Tech War, the last Tech War of this season...
Yeah.
One daughter, Elizabeth, wrote it.
Yeah.
One daughter, Melanie, is acting in it.
Oh, really?
I've directed it and acted in it. And we had an epiphany. We had a moment between daughters and father. My third daughter was back at home and wasn't in it.
So you have 3
Leslie-
girls, too. How old is 3
I got
girls?
They
3
all
girls.
look like me.
Oh, stop it.
You're saying you're the father of William Shatner's children?
Aren't you going to tell them, Bill?
Slowly I turned.
Right.
Adopt me,
I had
you
a
bastard. Adopt me.
All right, take it easy.
I had a great time.
You did. It was good.
Greatest and worth a lifetime of anything else.
Right, so you can so in the early years you can push them aside, and then when you get older,
The early
my
years.
plan.
I don't think that's what
The
he
early
said.
years. No, I'm saying
I think that's what he's saying.
Exactly
I'm
the
reading between the
opposite.
lines. Understood.
Almost there, Howard.
I got the kids lined up at the shrink's office. No problem. William Shatner, congratulations on Ashes of Eden, Star Trek, and you can pick it up right now, and it's a lot of fun to go be with all the characters that you love from Star Trek. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for asking.
Okay, and we'll be back after these words.
Howard, I hate to interrupt, but
What?
something pretty amazing.
What?
George Takei is on the line.
Uh-oh. Oh, good. Now,
Well,
Bill,
maybe we can patch everything up.
this is great. Do it, Bill. Let's have a patch.
Oh, my.
Come on, let's have a
Maybe
patch up.
George is calling to say, you know what? I didn't understand that Bill was...
George?
Okay.
Good morning.
George, you sound sleepy. I know it's late. It's early.
Very early, yes.
And you're in your apartment?
Very early.
Who are you with?
George, let me ask you
Now,
something.
which Bill Shatner am I talking to?
The one you love.
The one you love.
Bill Shatner A, the one who took away my scenes in the movies, or Bill Shatner B?
Well,
who's
let me
B?
ask you something.
Who's B, George?
George, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Why are you saying all these nasty things about William Shatner? He says he hardly knew you. He wouldn't even have the time to take away.
We worked together
Right.
for 25 years.
Yes. Right.
It was a wonderful time.
Is Uhura there with you now? There's Uhura.
Everybody just look at here. I want to get me in a rocket ship.
All right, stop that. All right.
Billy.
It's Billy. Did you know right away it wasn't George Takei?
Oh, I kind of figured it was.
You did?
You know, the working title of my book was going to be Bill Shatner is a pain in my tuchus.
Pretty good impression, though, right?
Oh, yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Oh,
All right, thank you.
You look wonderful.
You should have been
How
here
are
today.
you?
That was George Takei Jr.
George Takei Jr. was on the
So
phone.
funny. Imagine somebody thinking that was his.
I should plug Kid Chris. I personally love his George Takei phone call much better.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Where Kid Chris is Ricardo Montalban. And George Takei is that's the dude from Star Trek.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Going to Panama.
And Sulu.
Yes, we're taking a nice trip on Panama.
The Champs-Elysees.
Yes. Ren is the name of the dog, like Grand La Blanche Ren. It means beautiful doggy.
Hello, Ricardo.
Ricardo. This is not Ricardo Montalban.
Hello.
Hi, George. This is Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo.
Yes.
How are you?
How are you?
Just great.
I was just calling to say hello.
Well, it's always delightful to hear from you.
So, what are you doing this evening?
Well, believe it or not, tomorrow I'm taking off on a Star Trek cruise. We have Star Trek conventions that now float.
Are you going to come out to Fantasy Island?
Well, we're sailing from San Pedro, and we're going through the Panama Canal. Yes.
Is there any...
What are you up to?
I'm just driving around with talking on my new phone.
Oh, well, good for you.
Yes, I was thinking about trying to buy some hookers.
Oh, my.
Is that your doggy?
That's my dog.
What's your dog's name?
She's a papillon. Her name is Ren.
Ren?
Speak French?
Very little.
Well, Ren means queen.
I know Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, no, not that Ren. R-E-I-N-E.
I see.
Ren. La Reine, her full name is La Reine Blanche.
That's a pretty...
La Reina Blanca.
That's a pretty name.
Thank you.
Have you, have you been watching E when they had the story about tattoo?
No.
Oh. That's why I'm calling. I was wondering if you ever seen a midget naked.
You know, I don't think you're Ricardo Montalban.
What's that French name for his dog?
La Reine Blanche.
I think it means a white queen.
La Reine Blanca.
La Reine what?
La Reine de Blanc.
La Reine Blanche de Blanca.
Yeah.
Then he says it in Spanish, is what he does. La Reina Blanca.
Because their dog's such a long name.
He must be a show dog. They always have those long names.
Ricardo Montalban.
The butterfly dog.
Papillon.
Papillon.
Ricardo.
We're going to San Pedro.
To the Panama Canal.
Isn't it San Pedro?
Yes, San Pedro.
How does he get
and
that?
Canal, not Canal.
He's absolutely frightening.
Takei's crazy.
He is. He's frightening.
Yeah, he's...
What's going on in that house?
Well...
San Pedro. You're not Ricardo Montalban. Even when he's angry, he speaks perfectly.
Let's put it this way.
I don't think you are Ricardo.
That would be great.
Ricardo Montalban.
Always nice to hear from you, Ricardo.
I think you're an imposter.
Yeah. They actually have conventions that float.
Sounds great.
A floating.
Are you coming to Fantasy Island?
Oh, no.
No.
Tomorrow I'm taking a Star Trek cruise.
Ren, go get him. Yes. Anyway, that guy's great. Kid Chris. That's his name.
How does he get these numbers?
I don't know.
Tattoo.
Because even the Ted Turner one was hysterical.
That was good, too.
Hello.
Hi, George. This is Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo.
Yes.
Ricardo.
Ricardo.
That's great.
How are you?
How are you?
Just great.
I was just calling to say hello.
Well, it's always delightful to hear from you.
So, what are you doing this evening?
Well, believe it or not, tomorrow I'm taking off on a Star Trek cruise.
We believe it.
Yeah, that's easy to believe. Maybe he can't believe it.
Believe it or not, I'm taking off on a Star Trek cruise.
I know it sounds silly.
Cruise.
Yeah. The right sentence would have been, believe it or not, tomorrow I'm not taking a Star Trek cruise.
I'm going to give up the Star Trek cruise.
I'm going to make the word cruise very creepy right now. Cruise. Believe it or not, I'm doing Star Trek-related work tomorrow.
Star Trek conventions that now float.
Are you going to come out to Fantasy Island?
Well, we're sailing from San Pedro, and we're going through the Panama Canal.
Canal.
Yeah.
What
are you up to?
I'm just driving around with talking on my new phone.
Oh,
I'm going to make a laugh.
Yes, I was thinking about trying to buy some hookers.
Oh, my.
Is that your doggy?
That's my dog.
What's your dog's name?
She's a papillon. Her name is Ren.
Ren?
Speak French?
Very little.
Well, Ren means queen.
I know Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, no, not that Ren. R-E-I-N-E.
Oh, Ren means queen. Interesting.
Yeah. Ren. La Reine, her full name is La Reine Blanche.
La Reine Blanche. The White Queen.
That's a pretty...
La Reina Blanca.
That's a pretty name.
Thank you.
Have you,
Not too many guys named their dog La Reine Blanche.
Is this a male dog?
Those are some warning signals.
La Reine Blanche, he's very nice.
He's a papillon.
He's a papillon.
I'm taking my papillon on a cruise.
He's a papillon.
It's not enough La Reine Blanche. It's now La Reine Blanca.
La Reine Blanche.
Have you been watching E when they had the story about Tattoo?
No.
Oh. No. That's why I'm calling. I was wondering if you ever seen a midget naked.
You know, I don't think you're Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo Montalban. Have you ever seen a midget naked? You know, I don't think you're Ricardo Montalban.
After much consideration, I don't think you're Ricardo Montalban.
Did you see Tattoo? Tattoo.
You know, when Kid Chris was in here once, you told him that might be your favorite phony phone call of all time.
Yeah.
I think I agree.
Yeah, I think it's the best.
It's amazing. Takei performance.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just so brilliantly done, and Kid's funny on it, too.
Absolutely, but you can't get a better foil.
Unreal.
Yeah,
Captain Sulu.
That might be the best phony phone call of all time. Ren Blanc.
I don't know. There's still always the Pavarotti.
That was good, too. Where is that?
That's a great one.
You got that?
It's going to take a while to dig out.
Believe it or not, tomorrow I'm selling my soul to Star Trek.
But believe it or not, I'll be taking a Star Trek cruise.
Believe it or not, I'll be in the Star Trek dunk machine at the carnival. It's called Dunk Sulu.
That is hard to believe.
Yes, me and my papillon, we sit on a swing and dunk.
Poor La Reina Blanca.
Yes, believe it or not, we're going to be going over to the Star Trek Fantasy Island. I think he goes, are you going to Fantasy Island? No.
No.
I'm going someplace even stranger.
If you can imagine.
Tomorrow I'm standing at a Walmart, and you can throw darts at me in a Star Trek outfit.
Look for me past the Wookiee.
Lorraine.
Hello.
Hi, George. This is Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo.
Yes.
How are you?
Well, how are you?
Just great.
I was just calling to say hello.
Well, it's always delightful to hear from you.
So, what are you doing this evening?
Well, believe it or not, tomorrow I'm taking off on a Star Trek cruise.
On a Star Trek cruise. Can we transcribe this and Artie and I can reenact it?
Yeah.
Star Trek cruise. It's so funny. Yeah. Believe it or not.
Hey, believe it or not.
We don't have any trouble believing that you're doing something Star Trek.
It's all too believable.
Believe it or not, for the last 20 years, I've been doing Star Trek-related material.
Well, maybe he's saying, do you realize they put these idiots out on the water now?
Yeah. Do you realize we're going to float on a boat with them so we can't escape?
We have Star Trek conventions that now float.
We really get to be with the people.
Are you going to come out to Fantasy Island?